Hi, I'm Martin and welcome to the Upgrade Your Day podcast.
Now you've got happy. I haven't done that one yet.
I'm yet to read it. I have a lot of books that I'm yet to read.
They're on the list.
And you see, now I do have these kind of lovely mindfulness books, and then on the other side is my Jackie Collins.
I did see that.
Now my guest today is the lovely Tanya from Windsor Sound Healing. I should probably explain how I came across Tanya. It was during one of my 7 a.m. morning videos, which is still available on my Facebook page, Upgrade Your Day page, if you want to check it out. I think I damaged my phone, so I couldn't go out anywhere to do the 3-minute upgrade. So I was at home. I thought, what can I do? And my husband had bought me 2 crystal singing bowls for Christmas. He thought I might enjoy learning how to use them or something or another. We kind of give one another random Christmas presents. We're a bit like that. So I was like, right, I'm going to play these. So we'll do a 3-minute upgrade of just listening to the sounds of the crystal singing bowls. So there I am donging them and then trying to get them going and trying to get them singing, and it gets so loud it's almost alien, it's almost cracking the sound barrier. All sorts went horribly wrong. And the lovely Tanya had watched the video, messaged me to say, would you like me to come around and show you how to actually use them? And I was like, yes, please. So she came round and showed me, and I had the wrong stick and I had the wrong this and the wrong that. And it was lovely, and she's the most loveliest person. And I said, do you know what? I think I need to have a sound healing meditation with you. So we booked it in, and that's what I did today. And she stayed behind to do a little podcast. So here is the lovely Tanya talking all about what we went through today, all about the sound healing that has just happened, and I hope you enjoy it. And there is no bonging from me. Enjoy. Here's today's podcast.
I am here with the lovely Tanya, who, well, we've basically just done a, how would you explain it? I would say a crystal bowl sound bath.
Lovely.
Is that how you'd say it?
Yes. I mean, when I completed the course, I did the course through the College of Sound Healing. So they refer to it as sound healing. Mm-hmm. And there is obviously some wonderful evidence to say that sound heals. And even more so, I think it's if you go back thousands of years, human beings have found sound to be beneficial to them through, the mantras, meditations. They would have had sounds. I think the Western world is coming into this now. Yeah. That actually the Eastern world have actually been ahead of us in the mindfulness world for, as I say, thousands of years. Yeah. In fact, actually, apparently, the first record of sound being used for healing was actually the Aborigines using the didgeridoo.
Oh, was it? Oh,
didgeridoo!
Yeah.
That strange thing, the didgeridoo. But apparently, they would come together in some form, sort of tribal, maybe with a shaman or whoever had that similar role. And they would use it for that. So so I call it sound healing. However, sound bath, I think, there's an American, I think she's American or Canadian lady called Sarah Auster, who wrote a lovely book called Sound Bath, which is actually what brought me into this.
Right.
And she said when she started it, she called it sound baths rather than sound healing, because she felt if you invite people into something in which they think there is going to be healing and they don't seem to see it, they could be disappointed. Whereas actually, if you come at it from the side that, what is a bath? You lie in a bath and you soak and you relax and you fall asleep if you want to, or whatever, and you've got bubbles and smells and it's all just gorgeous. So that's that analogy. And now, of course, we've got forest bathing.
Yeah, I mean, I do my woodland meditation, and I actually started by saying forest bathing, but actually you do need to do certain courses to be able to teach forest bathing.
It's got a C.
Yes, so I did woodland bathing, and then people were saying somebody actually said to me, I was just swim this morning. I was like, let's swim. I would just swim. And I generally, I don't know, up at the Great Park, what pond you going up there then? And I was like, no, it's not an actual bath. It's not like you're swimming. And I suddenly realised, actually, in my world, I'm aware of it, but obviously other people don't have a clue. So that's why I changed it to woodland meditation, so that it kind of says what it is.
It is, yes. You know exactly what it is, yes. Yeah. I think they're doing, because I adore Kew Gardens, and I'm a member there, and because I've come from London, and it was somewhere we used to go when we were little, and they do I think they do call it forest bathing. They may not, but they do something there that, I must go. They do yoga in the Palm House as well,
lovely.
I just fancy that. I
think if people do advertise it as forest bathing, it is, insurance, you have to have the right thing as well. So and that's really important, I think, because anybody can do anything.
Well, yes,
so that's why you should always look at those qualifications so they know a little bit about what they're doing. But I was going to say, because the thing about sound is music is so my God, it's part of our makeup, isn't it, really? From your favourite song to a song that will trigger all these memories or thoughts, so that's something that's always been with us and always grounded in us, isn't it? So sound is always going to be the same kind of thing. It might not be words or guitars or keyboards or whatever it is in an actual song, but it's an element of that. So it's always going to affect us in a way, isn't it?
I mean, it's interesting because I've started to look into music therapy. And I'm doing one of those little online courses called Music Therapy and Wellbeing. And exactly as you said, it's part of our makeup. The thing about sound that is obviously, I think, particularly interesting is the idea is it's not music. Yeah. Because of course the reason we do it deliberately, you're making sounds rather than making music. Music, you're expecting to have a particular tune,
a rhythm,
exactly. And of course our brains get hooked into that because we like to plan. And so you're listening to something and you're actually already you're in the music, but you're also expecting what's going to come next, sort of thing.
Yes.
Whereas the beauty of the sound, also I love music, but I'm not a musician, so I don't mind playing one note that's directly next to the other. However, musicians will say, you can't possibly play a D after a C in that particular way because that's not right, or it's not in that key, or whatever.
Because also music can have a negative connotation as well, can't it? It can be a song that can actually trigger emotions in certain ways. So especially if you're meditating, etc., you wouldn't want to hear a certain song. So by it just being a sound makes it so much more open, doesn't it?
You're right, because a song could also then have an association to something else.
Yeah.
And then exactly, if you're meditating and you're trying to be in the present, you're not trying to go into the past or the future. So I think sound in that respect. But music therapy obviously is different, isn't it? Because it's to help people access memories that perhaps are a little bit painful, and it's a way in, isn't it, to unlocking.
Well, as I said to you, what I loved about it was I felt like the sound I was hearing, I mean, obviously the vibrations, I mentioned the lower tones really resonated with me. I felt very grounded, I felt very settled. The higher notes were a struggle for me, but I did feel like I had gone somewhere else, somewhere very, very nice, and I could have stayed there for a long time. And that's what was fascinating. It was really interesting. Really interesting. I was just somewhere else and it was very nice. And it made me feel, after I came, obviously we sat for sort of 10 minutes before I got up, but it made me feel like nothing would be a problem today. Nothing. If anybody came at me with any problems or issues, none of it is important. It was an amazing feeling.
Well, I could definitely, as I said, I could tell that you'd gone into a different state. Again, I would say, I haven't studied this, but it feels a little bit like a hypnotic state to a certain extent. And obviously I had sound baths in the course, because obviously we there were a group of us. Yeah. So we gave the sound baths and then we received them as well. But of course, because I was doing it in the course, there's always a little bit in my brain thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have to go next."
Yes, because you've got to teach
I've got to do it next. Or, "Oh, they've just done that. Would I have done that?" So it's dreadful. Whereas now, a lovely friend of mine who's a Reiki master, she said to me, "You'll do the course, and then when you finish the course and you actually start doing it, that's when you really learn how you're going to do it and how you're going to adopt it." But certainly what's been lovely is all part of it. Watching, I can feel people's energy just going, it's just like a huge sigh.
Yes.
And then the person I'm giving it to is literally just, or it's almost like the body is there.
Yeah.
But the essence.
Yes.
Somewhere else.
That's exactly it, and it gives you the permission to do that as well. And it was exactly that. It just felt like you'd gone somewhere else to just have a little moment to realise. I actually want to say to realise the importance of life and how special it is, and how not to just all the things that we try and teach people with mindfulness, or how it's about living in the moment, living in the now. It's that. It's just go with what's going on right now. Don't think about yesterday or worry about tomorrow. This moment, and that's what's really special about it. But we should say to people, so I was lying down on the floor, and then you had 7 bowls.
7 bowls, yeah.
And the notes of the bowls were...
they start with middle C4, which is the 4th octave, and they go up to the B.
Up to the B. And they're placed around, so the deeper the note was down by my feet, and it went up to the higher note by my head, and they're just sort of like in a semicircle next to me. And I was just led down, a pillow under my head, and then you just went around playing them very slowly, about 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And it felt a lot longer.
It does, yes.
About 45 minutes.
No, it does. I mean, in theory, they've, again, the course was sort of saying you do it for 10 to 20 minutes very intuitively. So you just sort of do it for the length of time that you feel you need to do it, but don't go over the 20 minutes, because actually it's also, I think, as I said before, the vibrations that are coming from the bowl, that's a lot for the body to actually absorb, or sort of allow them to flow through and come out again. I'm not a physicist, so I don't know, but I have been looking more into what the frequencies and the vibrations actually do to the body.
Yeah.
And I think also that the term healing is interesting, because I was recently reading a rather thick tome, Catastrophe, John Kabat-Zinn, Full Catastrophe Living, his sort of Bible for the 8-week mindfulness course. And he explains very nicely the difference between curing and healing. And he goes back to the origin of the word, and I can't remember exactly, but it's something about being whole. When you're healed, you're whole. It's not you're not necessarily cured. If people have illnesses and diseases that are basically not going to go away, however, you can still be healed.
Yes, yeah.
Because you can be whole, you can be yourself, your true self, even with something going on. And I think that's where I like to think of it, and in a way it's you're bringing yourself back to you. Yeah, that's what I love about it. I must read that. I probably got it here next to Jackie Collins. Probably next to Lady Boss or something like that. It's a biggie. It's about 2.5 to 3 inches. It's not to be read without preparation.
Yeah. Neither's a Jackie Collins, I'll tell you. You need a glass of red wine for that. Listen, I really loved it today, and it was really amazing. And as I always do with Upgrade Your Day, it's always about try it, and if it's not your cup of tea, brilliant. You can tell your friends about it and have a chat about it, but you should always give things a go. And it was just really interesting. And next, we're definitely going to do the Himalayan Bowls. Yeah. So just explain a little bit about the Himalayan Bowls. What's the difference? So the what we had today were the crystal bowls, which are bowls made out of quartz crystal. And what they do
is when they sing, when you play around the rim, if they're a C, that is the note that they produce. They produce a C, and it stays a C from the beginning of playing to the end of playing. Even as it sort of fades down, it's still a pure note, it's a C. The Himalayan bowls are made from metal. And the ones that I have were made in Nepal, and they are effectively an alloy of 7 different metals. Again, you can get machine-made ones which don't sing as well, whereas the ones that are handmade are obviously designed to sing. And the sound, you don't get a pure sound, you get harmonics.
Ooh.
and so you get a change of sound depending on how you play it. If you dong it with a mallet, if you dong it with a mallet, you might get a C. But if you then play it with the puja stick, which is the stick that you use, you'll then get a different note. You might get a G or a B. It changes, and then as it quietens down again, it changes. So you get these sort of overtones and undertones. So it's a very, very different sound. It's not as loud, because the crystal bowls, the challenge is not to keep them to go too loud, because they can go a little bit too much, really. But they're not as loud. But as I said, so you get a very, very different sound. And the idea is you can play them like for a sound bath, in which you just play it so you're just lying in the sound. But the benefit of the Himalayan bowls is you can put them on the body, and then you get what's referred to as a sonic massage.
Wow.
Yeah,
Crikey.
Cool.
Sonic massage.
Sonic massage.
It's like the sub-headline, that
one. And the vibrations go through you and travel wherever they're going to go. I like to start with placing the bowl on the base of the spine, and people have said the vibrations go up through your spine, up into your crown.
So you should lie on your front, not your back.
So yes, exactly. So we start on the front. It depends on the person. So if there's a reason to not do that, if they've got a problem with their spine or something and they really don't want to do that, then we can obviously adapt. But generally, yes, you'd start on your tummy, and then I would then move the bowl. I've got 4. I've got 4 bowls. I'm when I get some money, I'll get some more. Obviously, like everything, they come from they're handmade in Nepal.
Expensive.
Expensive. They're beautiful. Wait till you see them. They're absolutely exquisite. And so you basically put them on. You can have, depending on the person, you can have more than one on the back. It depends obviously on the body weight of the person. So
because on my tummy they'll roll off.
If you're on I wouldn't do it on your tummy, but if you're lying on your tummy, I could certainly put 2, if not 3, actually along your spine.
Yeah.
And then what I tend to do is I'll move the bowls around your back, depending again on what we've talked about, whether there are any aches and pains we're looking into or anything. But then I also can go down the leg, and what's fascinating is you go down the leg and then go down to the foot, and I will put it, if you are happy for this to happen, I will put it on your foot, first of all on the heel, and then actually in the sort of I suppose more like in the arch of the foot, and then literally the vibrations will go sort of up your leg and may well keep going. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous.
Well, we are doing this next. That sounds amazing. It's really interesting. I just love the idea of the whole sound healing. I think it's fascinating. And if you're more in tune to that, then you know how some people struggle with meditation or sitting still, or people say about having a busy mind, even though that's a good thing. I think sound is something which people might find a little bit more accessible. It's a bit more of a thing, isn't it?
It's definitely, you almost can't not concentrate on the sound, whereas when you're concentrating on your breath, within a microsecond the brain pings off to my shopping list, or what's happening tonight, whereas the sound envelops you a lot more. And so for switching your brain off, the monkey mind off, I would certainly say sound is wonderful.
It might be a nice way to introduce yourself into it.
Into meditation.
Start with a little bit of that and then move into something else. I think that's a good way of doing it. Well, listen, thank you very much for coming in today and being on the podcast. Well, I'll let everyone know how it goes with my Himalayan bowls and my sonic massage.
Yeah, sonic massage.
But today was great. I honestly feel it's lunchtime and I feel like nobody can annoy me today. Nothing can get in my way. Everything is just all right.
Superpower.
And I haven't had a sonic massage. That's great. Well, thank you very much. And listen, how can people find you, contact you, give you details?
I have a Facebook page called Windsor Sound Healing. And if you go on to Windsor Sound Healing, there's the option of using WhatsApp, very cleverly synced to my phone.
Oh, yeah.
So anybody can message me through that. The other way actually is, because I did my course through the College of Sound Healing, I'm actually registered on their website.
Great.
As a bowl practitioner, because there are other avenues. Obviously there's other ways of producing sounds. There's tuning forks, there's gongs.
Yeah.
I may at some point do those as well.
Yeah, I think you should.
Out of curiosity, but again, it's all a matter of funds, really.
Yes, as always.
The gongs, they're about £1,000 each, and you need at least 2.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. That'll be next year.
So next year.
Yes. We'll do that next year.
when we win the lottery.
Yeah. Oh yes, that old chestnut. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Thank you. We'll put your details on here anyway. Thank you so much for today, and yeah. You're
very welcome.
Conquer the day.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you. Now, if you want any of those Jackie Collins, you can help yourself.
So that was the lovely Tanya from Windsor Sound Healing. She is so lovely. I really enjoyed chatting to her. And honestly, I still feel completely and utterly at peace with everything. It's brilliant. I want to recommend it. Honestly, just try, give it a go, see what happens, and see if it's your thing. It's a really lovely experience. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you with 3 minutes, because it's all about a 3-minute upgrade of some crystal bowl sound. Now, the best thing to do is to maybe head somewhere, settle yourself down, close your eyes, and just listen and see if it brings anything up for you. See if it's something that you enjoy, if it brings you a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of peace. Just give it a go. Obviously, I've only got 2 bowls, whereas Tanya has 7. It's very different, and she's a professional at what she does. But this just gives you a little idea, because some people might not even know what this sounds like. So have a little listen to the last 3 minutes of this podcast now and see how it feels for you. Let me know. Let me know on my socials how it is, and give it a go. That's what Upgrade Your Day is all about. And if you enjoyed this podcast, remember to subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you tune in every Monday for a new podcast from Upgrade Your Day.